$469 million liquidated from the cryptocurrency market in the past 24 hours, 130,000 traders absolutely wrecked, and everything happened only in this move. Even bigger move is incoming, and in this video I'll reveal to you in which direction.
My crypto paradise.
Hello ladies and gentlemen of the Paradise Club, this is Simon from My Crypto Paradise. Today is Saturday, last video of this week. Let's enjoy it. Bitcoin on the topic. In the previous video I have shared with you that we will start crashing from $109,000 down, and I have told you also about the target. We will update the target. As you can see, we have really started to drop down. However, after that I have told you there is some bullishness going on, ladies and gentlemen. We might have a recovery towards this resistance, and after that we will continue in our downward movement. So that's also what's exactly happened, and precisely from our resistance zone we are right now pushing down. However, something very interesting is cooking right here, and it might a little bit mess up with the price action. We will definitely be looking into this so we can make professional trading decisions. And let's actually start with one extremely important insights right now. We are seeing a buy limit order, an institutional buy limit order worth $100 million, ladies and gentlemen. So this is right now holding the price of Bitcoin from crashing downwards. Similar thing happened right here, okay? It was just $50 million right here, but you can see what happened with Bitcoin thanks to it. However, it was backed by price action development insights, right? Right now, do we have an insights that something similar would happen, or is this just holding the price action of Bitcoin from crashing during the weekend? We will analyze it. Also, you need to remember this can be made by institutions only as a spoofing order, okay? They might delete it anytime. That is why with ParadiseTeam we are monitoring the market 24/7, and we are adjusting our trading strategies inside of Paradise Family VIP based on the market changes. So if that's gonna be deleted, we will have a free ride to the downside, because by looking at the spot exchange order book we can see that the liquidity is pretty thin until around $102,000. All right, ladies and gentlemen, so let's keep this in mind and let's start analyzing Bitcoin on ultra high time frame. That is weekly time frame for us. That means each candle representing a 7 days trading activity, and this one will close on Sunday. That means in 1 day 9 hours. Ladies and gentlemen, if we gonna close this below this support zone that we are having at around $102,000, it will be bad, and it will mean that we are starting this first corrective mode wave, and as you know, that will be a new ultra high time frame impulse that will take us towards $44,000. Right now we need to be very careful, because we are creating a bearish divergence right now on the chart. Why? Because the price action is making a higher high. However, the indicator, the MACD histogram, is making lower high. That means the bullish momentum is decreasing, bulls are getting weaker, and as you know, this is a great opportunity as always for the bears to take over. This is a textbook example of a bearish divergence, ladies and gentlemen. I have been already sharing that with you in the previous video. This is one of the strongest one when the price action is making higher high. However, the momentum is creating lower high. That means the bulls are getting weaker, and very soon there might be nobody left to keep buying and pushing the price to the upside. We can see that on stochastic RSI we are in the overbought area right now, and the legs are already crossed, right? As you can see right here, what happened right here during December, you can see it very precisely on your own eyes. We have been consolidating for a while, and after that we have started to crash to the downside. So we need to be aware of this. That is why we are adjusting our trading strategies inside of Paradise Family VIP to this kind of understanding. And if the weekly candle will right now close below this support zone, it will be another warning sign. All right, after a proper reclaim, that means break of the structure, retest it as a bearish retest, turn it into resistance, and then on a lower time frame some kind of impulsive candles. We can have a double top as well. It will be another confirmation that we are about to go down and start this new impulse to the downside. Let's right now shift our focus to lower time frame. We will dive deeper deeper inside of this price action. So let's take a look what's going on a daily time frame. Few things we will be taking a look at. First of all, we are creating since April 5 moves to the downside. As you can see, to the downside, prior to that we have been making only corrective mode waves like a simple ABC or a triangle. For the first time since April, we are having a 5 moves to the downside. This seems to be a change of trend, and in my opinion we are creating an impulse, and we have finished the first wave, secondary wave, that is taking a form of a corrective mode wave to the upside for the first time, right? So this is interesting, and right now we are starting the third wave that, if is going to be a success one, we will have a retest of our $93,000 key high time frame support zone. As you know from our website, impulse mode wave looks like this, subdivides itself into 5 smaller waves, and the first, third and fifth subdivides itself into even smaller subwaves. And by understanding the smaller subwaves, you can understand where, not only where you at the impulse mode wave, but also where to place your targets, where to place your stop loss properly. So I do believe that right now we have finished the secondary wave and we are actually in the progress of the third wave. All right, so let's keep this in mind. Another thing that I'm seeing right now on our high time frame chart is the break and retest of RSI, right? So we have been in an uptrend a little bit, then we have broke this moving average trend line, the moving average RSI trend line. We have broke it down, and then we have retested. This is the bearish retest, all right? And right now we are still not in an oversold area. As you can see, we are in the middle, and we have still very much free space to go down with the RSI. So this is already some kind of a bearish sign from the RSI indicator, ladies and gentlemen. So we need to be aware of that. Together with that, right now on the daily time frame, the previous candle that closed a few hours ago, we have created an indecision candle. Okay, traders don't know if it's going to go to the upside or to the downside. As you can see on this candle, previous day, yesterday, basically the bulls and bears been fighting with each other. That is why you have almost equal wicks that you see on the upside and also at the downside, and you have quite a small body. All right, so indecision candle, that is good because loads of deleveraging going on, and that is why after some sudden move on a low time frame, basically it will again increase the sentiment in one side, right? So if we will push a little bit to the upside, they will start to position themselves on the long side. That will create loads of liquidation levels below us, and the market makers will be able to push the price a little bit. Then it will start triggering the liquidation levels, and that will create a domino effect, right? The same thing on the downside. If we will push a little bit the price to the downside, for example a fake out below this previous low, loads of people will start positioning themselves again into short positions, and it will create liquidity pool above us, and the opposite scenario will be able to happen. That is why we are right now monitoring the price action closely to understand what's gonna happen. However, I have my own idea where they will try to push the price next. It's basically a scam, right? It's this kind of, it's something similar to the spoofing with the order book. So I will be talking about it definitely. What I want to share with you also is this VPVR. As you can see, loads of trading activity been happening right here. That is why if we will start reclaiming this, it will start decreasing the bearish probability together with the moving average trend line. Definitely that is holding us at around $105,000. If we will have a break and retest, I will be considering to take earlier profits before our major high time frame target, that is around $93,000. But even lower, there is also $88,000 that I have been talking about in the previous video. I will share that with you in a minute. Let's right now jump into a little bit, let's zoom in basically into medium time frame, 4-hour time frame, ladies and gentlemen. And right here you can see something very dangerous for the bears right now, because on medium time frame, on 4-hour time frame chart, ladies and gentlemen, we are having a bullish divergence right here. On the histogram you can see that we are creating a high low. However, on the price action we are creating lower low. This is a textbook example from our website mycryptoparadise.com, where inside of our MCP free university you can educate yourself on how to be a better, more professional trader and learn technical analysis from the Paradise team. As you can see, when the price is making lower low but the oscillator is making higher low, that's a great sign of a potential reversal. Why? Because it's the same thing like we have with the strong bearish divergence that we have saw on the ultra high time frame chart. Basically the bears right here are losing momentum momentum, and it is a great opportunity if it appears at some important support zone for the bulls to start taking over, right? So right now we can see that we have this bullish divergence on the MACD histogram. Together, the stochastic RSI on 4-hour time frame is being in an oversold area, and we have this bullish cross of flex to the upside. As you can see, previously it resulted in this kind of price action higher. Sometimes what can happen, so basically until we can continue to go lower, we need to cool down both of the MACD and the stochastic RSI as well, right? And we can do it two ways. Either we will be consolidating, right, or we need to push to the upside. All right, so that is also why it's important to keep monitoring the market 24/7, because the market is changing all the time, right? And because with ParadiseTeam we are monitoring the market's changes 24/7, then the Paradise family have the job easy, because we just share with them exactly the entry and exit targets of what we are trading, when we are trading it, etc. So right now I will tell you from the medium time frame perspective the Elliott wave count that I'm seeing right here. Okay, so as you can see, we have started the first wave right here, finished the secondary wave. I do believe if this third wave will be a successful and we will be able to break sooner or later after a consolidation or after a little push to the upside, this neckline that was holding us as a support previously, if we will be able to cross it, we will finish our third wave at around $93,000. Then there will be a fourth wave, a corrective mode wave that will retest this structure, a previous support. Then after breakout it will be turned into resistance, and the final fifth wave I do believe will take us towards $88,000. Why 88? Because we have been able to calculate the Fibonacci retracement from this corrective mode wave that we have created since April, right? So this is 0.618 Fibonacci retracement level right here, extremely important level, and I do believe that this will be our first impulse from ultra high time frame perspective, and after that we will have a corrective mode wave towards an upside, but about that I will be updating you in the next videos if this count will be correct. So at the moment, what will be an invalidation or some warning sign for the bears is if we will be able to start reclaiming this moving average trend line that you can see is right now holding us in this bearish structure. We are having often fake counts to the upside. That is very common, and we need to be, as a professional traders, prepare for it. But as you can see, in average it's basically holding the price down. So if I will however start seeing a reclaim of that, that means a break and then also a retest. As you can see, we had breaks, right, but these retests were unsuccessful. We have pushed down afterwards, right, here as well. So what I want to see is a break, successful reclaim, sustain out of a break with a nice volume candle above average, and then retest. And this retest needs to be supported from low time frame perspective with some double bottom formation or some bullish candlestick pattern, and then I will know that with the highest probability we are changing the trend to the upside, right? Together with that we have this VPVR resistance right here. Again, we can have some wicks above it, but if we will start reclaiming it, that will be a bearish sign, and it will make us with the ParadiseTeam to start taking profits earlier. Let's zoom in. I will share with you the sub waves on 1 hour time frame, ladies and gentlemen. And right now we will understand the major resistance levels on low time frame chart and the targets. Okay, so let's understand the sub waves. So right here we had a first wave to the downside. It was nicely confirmed because it was 5 sub waves, so a nice move to the downside that finished at around $103,000. Then a corrective mode wave to the upside. I've been updating you about that. It was a nice zigzag to the upside, so that's the secondary higher degree from low time frame perspective wave to the upside, corrective mode wave. And right now I do believe that we are starting the third wave, right? But as you know from our website, if you are educating yourself properly, the impulse is subdividing itself into 5 smaller waves, and the first, third and fifth wave are all motive mode waves. All right, so they themselves subdivide into 5 smaller waves, right? So based on that we can understand that right now I do believe that we are finishing, or we have already finished, the first wave. Then we will have a secondary wave, okay, third wave, fourth wave, and the final fifth wave will take us towards 96 $96,000. In the previous video, I've shared with you why $96,000. Okay, so go and watch it if you didn't and you want to know exactly how did I get this level. But in this video, I want to focus on the resistances because they are most important right now. Let's start to understand the price action, the sub waves of the first wave in the third wave. All right. So I do believe it's already finished, and for a few reasons. Let me explain to you why. So the first wave also subdivides itself into 5 smaller waves, and let's calculate with me. We had first right here, secondary wave right here, third wave, most impulsive and longest, is right here, and then we had a fourth wave that took a place of a simple zigzag, with the B wave being a triangle. Triangles, remember, are always before impulsive mode waves, and the C wave is a multi-mode wave. All right, so that's correct right here. And right now I do believe that we have finished the fifth wave. Okay, for multiple reasons. One of the reasons why I do believe that we have finished the fifth wave of the higher degree first wave is because I have been doing the channeling stuff, right, that we have explained in the previous videos, where I take the tops of the secondary and fourth wave, right, and I put it to the bottom, the slope basically to the bottom of the third wave, and I can see basically the next potential support. And as you can see afterwards, we have dropped almost exactly to retest this descending trend line. So there is a high probability that we have already finished this fifth wave, and right now what we are doing is actually the secondary of third. All right, so the third wave, one more time, is subdividing itself into 5 smaller waves. If this was finished right here, we are right now starting the secondary corrective mode wave. And how I want that secondary wave to act is few things. So first of all, I want that secondary wave to be created by some corrective mode pattern wave. You can find it on our website as well. Either it can be a zigzag for the secondary wave, it's often a zigzag, or sometimes a double zigzag, or some other corrective mode wave, but I will be mostly focusing on zigzag or double zigzag because that's the most common for the secondary wave. All right, together with that, I want to make sure that it doesn't go above some important resistances. How do I get some important resistances? Is very easy. I don't want that to go above the previous structure, so I'll take the most impulsive wave, that was this one, right, and I basically put my Fibonacci retracement tool from the local high to the local low, and I can see a 0.61 Fibonacci retracement level right here at around $105,700. So if this secondary wave is going to take an action, I don't want that to exceed this resistance level. Okay, let me put horizontal line right here. I will put it to the red color, and we can understand if this zigzag will take a form, the secondary wave will take a form. I don't want that formation to exceed this resistance level, so it can look something like this. Okay, if this is going to start breaking down and we will have some kind of a reclaim, I will start taking with the ParadiseTeam some profits and decrease my bearish stance. Okay, together with that, we have nice descendant trend line right here, so it's synergized very well. But that's not enough, right? I also want to analyze this secondary higher degree corrective mode wave, and I will also take Fibonacci retracement tool, and I get a 0.618 Fibonacci retracement level right here. Okay, so this is a $106,500. If this is going to be the case, this is basically going to be invalidated, all of this price action development, and if we will start reclaiming this resistance levels, I will start taking profits earlier. Also, because it will break structure from the Elliott Wave perspective, it will go above this high, which shouldn't happen, right? Together with that, we have this head and shoulders neckline right here, this blue line basically. So it basically not only synergizes with the Fibonacci retracement levels, but also with this neckline. Okay, so if this neckline together with the $106,700 resistance starts being reclaimed, I definitely don't want to be in a short positions anymore, and I will be recalculating the bearish stance with the ParadiseTeam. So basically, the higher degree perspective on the low time frame chart, ladies and gentlemen, looks like this. I do believe that we will finish the target of the head and shoulders pattern breakout, and that will finish at around $96,000. All right, I do believe that the head and shoulders pattern already has its reclaim, because let's have a look at this. It's not visible clearly here, but somewhere in the article it is. For example, right here, the successful reclaim we already had, right? We had the break with a nice volume and then a retest of the neckline. Okay, so right now I do believe that we can hit the target that I've calculated by taking the depth of the neckline and the head of the head and shoulders pattern. So that is at the $96,000 right here. So the potential price action, how we can get here, okay, can look something like this. So by the way, the Elliott wave count is like this: 1, 2, 3, okay, and this third wave subdivides itself into 5 smaller waves. I do believe that these 5 smaller waves will take some kind of price action development like this: 1, 2, then 3, 4, 5. Okay, so this will be the third wave. Then we will have a corrective mode fourth wave, and then the final fifth wave will finish at that $93,000. That will be the higher degree third wave. Ladies and gentlemen, smash the like button if you are enjoying these updates, if you are learning. All right, that's really my main point, to make sure that you are learning. Also, what we can understand, if this is going to be a zigzag, then I will definitely want to create some kind of a channel, right? Once we have it, I basically copy the slope, I will put it to the high, and that will tell me the potential target of the C wave. But for that, we firstly need to have some green candles to understand that this is really ABC. It might even be some different corrective mode wave, or we are still in the formation of the lower degree fifth wave and we must start dropping right away. It really depends on the price action. The most important thing is that I'm focusing on shorts, not longs, okay, until we can reclaim this. So I'm focusing on shorts, and any short opportunity, for example, even a successful retest right here, etc., is a great opportunity to make a nice professional trading setups and maximize our profits in this market. Ladies and gentlemen, I will see you again on Tuesday. As you know, I'm recording every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. Until then, trade smart, trade safe, trade with a strategy, because if you don't have a strategy, then your strategy is to fail. And I will see you on Tuesday. Cheers.